Wanted to show you how to create a query against SAS datasets using the Syview tool. I'm going to go ahead and log in. You can actually create with multiple criteria or no compound expressions without having to write logic in a programming script. The first thing you should do is navigate to a particular library. This lists all of the SAS datasets that you have access to. If you were to go to another library, there are SAS datasets within that that you have access. But let's use the CDIS as an example. If you click on the dataset, it shows you all the attributes here. And in this example, I'll just select the CM, concomitant medication dataset. And then to start the query, you go to the Tools menu and select Query. This lists all the criteria which you can specify to narrow down your data view. So for example, if I were to select on unique subject ID, and then I can select multiple subjects here. So I can say among as the operator. If I click on Browse, it actually shows me some of the valid subject ID in there. So I'm going to select 3 as an example here and click on OK. What this would do is shows each one separated by a comma, as you can see here. Let me go ahead and zoom in so that you can see that a little more clearly. In this case, I selected the subject ID to be among these 3 selected patient members, and when I click OK, it's going to actually apply that query, and you can see that in this case, this is the subject ID here. You can scroll down and see all the values. I'll go ahead and zoom in just a tad to show you the criteria once again. So this is applied upon the CM dataset. These are the valid subject ID, and note that there's only 11 subjects within 36 that was in the original sample dataset that I narrowed it down to. So if I were to go back, I can actually create additional criteria in addition to this subject ID. For example, let's say I choose a numeric value, sequence is a number, and I can say, let's say, less than a particular value, meaning if it's less than 10, they'll narrow it down to only those rows. I can do a third criteria. Let's say how about the categorical of the medication. I'll go ahead and browse here. Let's say I want it to be only psychotropic drugs, and I can make it equal to. So when you have more than 2, in this case 3 criteria, you can combine them. What I mean by that is if I click on this combine, you'll see that it actually evaluates these 2 criteria first in the parentheses, and then after that it will look at the third one. So, and you can also change the or and condition. So if I were to say or, note that this or has been applied. I'll zoom in for you to see here. So in this case, it's going to do the first 2 first within the parentheses with an and operator, and then after that it evaluates the third criteria. So let's see how that would work if I were to click on OK and apply it. So it shows me the criteria again. I'll zoom in. So it shows me both the criteria 1, and then it uses an, and then criteria 2, and then lastly criteria 3 with an or, with the combined criteria here. So notice I left it pretty loosely, so I still have 15 rows out of 36. But that's how you can actually do very complicated, sophisticated type of queries upon a data set, making them with compound expressions. In this case, I did 3. You can actually even have a fourth one, and you can do and/ors or combine certain sets. For example, if I were to change the combine down here, notice that the parentheses is shifted over here. So that's a good way of creating pretty complex query expressions without having to write any scripts.